I'm Tom Peterson, and welcome to Critical Issues in Education. This course is something that I've worked on for many years, and I just want to welcome you. First of all, a little bit about myself, my background as a teacher and as a principal, and 27 years here at West Georgia. My doctorate is in critical theory and philosophy of education from the University of North Carolina. And this is a course that I'm very passionate about. It's something that intrigues me all the time. I certainly don't have all the answers because the issues keep changing. Things are never the same in education from day to day. You don't know quite what to expect. So with that in mind, a little bit about critical theory. Critical theory wasn't, well, it was an interesting subject to me, but it had a very different and distinctive language because critical theory speaks about looking at things critically or judgmentally, and makes a lot of assumptions about education and where it's going or not going that it should be going. Critical theorists, though, talk about things that most people don't talk about, and that is unnecessary suffering. Talking about students that sit in classrooms that are bored to death and they endure, college students too, and teachers that sit in classrooms just longing to do more than they're doing for their students. So critical theory deals with this unnecessary suffering that comes about as a result of poverty, racism, bullying, a lot of topics like that. We're going to look at 12 different themes this semester, and basically that translates to about 2 themes a week. And while there are a lot of issues in education, we're not going to be able to cover all of them. So I have chosen some that people probably often ignore and haven't even thought about. Like, what does it mean to be educated? Is it the same is education the same as schooling? The word to educate, often people associate it with something we do to the students, that we pour it in them or we deposit it in our students. But education actually comes from the Latin word educe, which literally means to pull out or draw out. So we want to look at education by asking questions, seeing why we're doing things the way we are. So that gives a little bit of background of critical theorists. I've kind of set a pace for you to follow this semester, so it's every 2 weeks. Every week you'll have 2 themes, and so try to keep on track with those. I put opening dates and closing dates, so take a look at those in the content area, of course, then. And if you have any questions about these things, let me know. If something happens that you can't make a deadline and you have a good reason, let me know, and I'll work with you on that. First of all, I want you to look at the introduction that I will have for each of the themes. So as you make your way through, look for those. Also, in the first week, I would like you to look at a little video clip from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You probably remember that, those actors as they're sitting in a classroom and the teacher drones on, And I want you to look at this thing critically and ask the questions, what are the students learning? Our first gut reaction is they're not learning anything. But let's pause that for a moment and then look in the eyes of the students. What do you see? How are the students responding to this teacher? There's one girl with squinty eyes, and she's boring a hole through the teacher, probably wondering, why are you here? What are you doing to us? And so we have to ask the question of what the students are learning. They're learning a lot about the subject. Not good things about the subject, but they're learning that the subject is boring. They're also learning that the teacher is boring, that the teacher doesn't care whether they're learning these things or not. They're also learning that the teacher doesn't really enjoy what he is teaching, and therefore it comes across passionateless and very dull. So take a look at that, and that'll be a good start to this class. There is a calendar that you can find on CourseDen, and it gives the start and finish dates of all the assignments. And so that should keep you on pace throughout the semester. Some of the assignments are just a few pages, and others, like the Kingdom of Auschwitz, is maybe 60 pages. Read as much as you can on that one, but also watch the videos, because those are designed to add to the readings, and they're critically important. I have put a discussion board up for each theme. So this is a place to have dialogues and reflect on your own assumptions about some of these issues. Some of you may look at the issues and say you don't agree with it, and then that's fine. And others, because all of these are going to challenge your assumptions about what you know about these different issues. It's not required that you put something on the discussion board, but I encourage you to use that as an opportunity to ask questions and to reflect on the readings. The syllabus. It's located several different places that you can find the syllabus and look through and see how the grading scheme goes. Also, you'll notice that besides the reflection papers, and there are two major assignments there. You have, well, actually one major assignment with two options. One is to find a critical issue that is important to you and write about that. It may be one that we've discussed in class. It may be one that you wish we had, and you want to research it further. So it's critically important for me to know that you're picking something that is important to you, not something that just fancies, trying to please me or just get the grade. But research a critical issue. The instructions for that, the template is in CourseDen. The other is intriguing but maybe a little more complicated, and that is if you have the access to someone, a challenging student, a youth that is at risk, ask them if they will let you interview them. And you would approach them this way. I have an assignment for my class to interview a student, and I'd like to interview you. And this interview may take place at one time, it may take place over a period of times, but the research question is, what does the world look like through the eyes of this youth? Often, what you see on the surface is not really what's going on in the life of that kid. Too often, we just look at the cover and we really don't know what's going on with these young people. So this would be an opportunity for you to find someone that is struggling or is a challenge for teachers and interview them. I encourage you not to interview somebody in your own family because they're not going to be quite as open and free to share things as somebody else. If you have any questions on that, email me. I'll certainly give it some thought, and we can talk about that. Okay? So those are the two options for your final paper. The readings, I have posted them on each theme, or you can also go to teacherrenewal.me to access the readings for each assignment, each theme that we have. And again, look at the videos. Each one of them is critically important, and it may take a little while, but it'll be worth your time. If you want to get a hold of me, the best way is through tpeters@wesca.edu and not through CourseDen, because I'm teaching other classes online. But if you would just email me, I look at my emails many times a day, and I'll get back to you pretty quick. So I think that's good for the introduction here. Oh, one last thing. The cosmos. After this introduction, you'll learn a lot more from me from something I call the cosmos. The cosmos, what that is a story of my life, or rather the influences that have shaped my life. Now, the cosmos, think of it as a spiral, and you're spiraling out. It's the universe, and I'm the center of the universe, or you are the center of the universe. And in that spiral, we're going to look at all of the influences that have shaped our lives. It's like a timeline, but it's a spiral timeline. You could think of it that way, that it spirals out. And there's reasons for doing this, and I'll explain some of those later. I'm going to share mine with you, and I have voice, so it goes automatically, and there'll be voice in there. But this is a pattern of something I want you to do. Each of you will be required to do one and to upload it sometime this semester. There's lots of reasons for doing this, and I'll explain some of them at a later time. But take this as an opportunity. You can do it in Prezi, you can do it in PowerPoint, a movie format. People do it in different formats. It doesn't need to be as long as mine, though, okay? But that's because I've been around a long time. So let's take this journey together, and let's see what we see out there, okay? See if we can come away from this class renewed and inspired. I thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you online.